Hi guys, so today we're going to go through our repairs on the rusty sections of the headlight bucket. I've got a bit of brass we're going to sit up behind and fill up some of those holes that are rusted through this inner bracket, and we're going to fill up where we've drilled the spot welds out of there, and we've started making our replacement panel to put up into there. So first things first, we're going to get the welds done on this and weld up the plug holes on that and get them dressed up and ready to put the new piece on. Okay, so we've roughly welded up all those other bits and pieces, and where did I put it? We're going to start trying to shape this. So I've got a flat bit of steel stock, and I've cut 2 slots in at the depth that I want. So now the deeper one is going to be for the fold on the bottom, and then where it curves up and around it goes to a shallower one. So I'll start with the bigger fold first. And the idea is to just crab along it every couple of mil without missing anything like that, and get the steel to just fold over gently and work your way along. We get up near the curve. Couple more. Then here, we're going to go to the shorter piece. And start to try and work its way around the curve. The idea is to go slow and not get too greedy, and it should eventually come up and around. Missed a spot. This 90-degree corner is going to be a bugger. There. Is where it didn't quite go. Try a couple more in the peak of that. Maybe try it that way. See if we can get it sharper. That's better. Sort of. Looks a bit rough at the moment. Okay, so that's kind of what we're after. Now I'll see if we can mount the dolly and the vise, and we'll see if we can dress it up. Okay, so that bend through there is a real bugger to try and roll over, and it's not, hey, it's better than what I had. It's not rusty, but it's not quite the shape we're after. I've got to try and get that corner to knock down. And it's just a case of trying to find something, because I've got the wrong dolly here, that's going to match the shape that I want. So on the back of the vise here, see if I can work it over a bit. Port more over. Now, I need to sharpen that up a bit. So I'll see if this is going to show up. So that's what we had. And this is what we've tried to fold up on the bench. Yes, there is excess material coming off over here, which we can sand back once we get it into place. But all in all, this glove off. All in all, and yes, that edge there needs to be squared up where it's folded over and it's not square. Same with that one. But once it's in place, we can do those final trims. So I'll grab the other bucket that it's supposed to go to. Okay, so if I stop dropping that camera around, so that's the bucket there. And this has to sit in there and be welded on. And then once we've got it on there, we can trim up the edges and go from there. See if I can get it to hold up in the vise, and we'll get that tacked on. Right, so I've changed my mind. I'm not going to weld it on here tonight because A, I don't have any of my clamps here, just these sketchy old vice grips, and B, I want to put weld through primer between where the two join. So I'm going to take this home and weld it up over the week, but that, and it's also too dark here with all these cars on the hoist that can't get any light down to the bench. But if you look at that, that's the fit up that we're trying to get on that piece once it goes in. And then the other piece that we've got over here, bolts in from underneath as well. And that's all had the holes filled and everything like that. Alright, so I'll leave it here for tonight. We'll go get some weld through primer on those and we'll catch you up when we start welding that piece together. Okay, so we've got the rust repair section for the front headlight bucket all made up and folded, and we've got it and the bucket in weld through primer, and the other piece that we made we've got undercoated in some quick gal, because that's going to be an internal piece under the guard and that'll just get painted in black epoxy like the other part of the repair underneath. So we're going to set up, get through and spot weld that on, and get it all ready to put back in the fender. Okay, so the weld is on. We've got our ground clamp on and the gas on. That's the starting point. We remembered those. See if we can get these spots to start. Cool. Should be able to just get this last one on. Do in the end here. Okay, before we do that one, I just want to try and dress it a little bit closer, or maybe use these to pull it in a bit closer. See if I can hit that. Should be able to finish burning that one in. Clean up and get the camera off the stand and show you what we've done. Made. Whatever. Okay. Okay, so what we've got, this is what we started with. And what we've ended up with, shape is close enough. This top edge here I think may be a little big, but where it goes up in under here, it sits up in under there. There's extra room up under there. So by the time we sit the bucket and everything in, that should just let it go right to the top, and then we can still plug weld them. Or if we have to, we can trim it down so it just sits in hard up against that top edge there. So that's fairly minor. And you just got to go dress the welds up, touch up where the weld through primer's burnt a little, and it'll be good to go. Right, so the next step through the week is going to be getting in and probably trying to get some paint stripper and just put it on nice and thick all through here. Not so much that it's paint, but the dried out thick pieces of body deadener or tar, the paint stripper normally does dissolve that and make it soft, and you can just scrape it off. So we'll get all of those chunky bits off and then get a knot wheel on a drill and a grinder and get in and knock all that surface rust off, and we'll get in and treat it the same as we did down there. Once that's done and this is all fully welded in, then we'll get that welded in. But just to give you an idea, that's where we're at. The front nose section does need a little bit more work and dressing up to panel beat it in, but that should sit in there nice. And like I said, we'll leave that out until that's fully welded, and that way we can get in there and hammer and dolly it. We've knocked all that crease that used to be in through there out, then we've put that in, and we've also knocked the crease out that was there. So with that out, that'll just give us a lot more room to work on the nose. There was a little crease up in through there. We've dressed that out most of the way. Still got to put a bit of work into that one yet. And then it's just a case of getting it all sealed up in that black epoxy. So I'm going to get in and give this a coat of paint, because that's not going to be seen and it's just a bolt-in bracket. We're going to paint that black and let that dry through the week, and we'll unclip this, and everything in through the back there is just going to get hit with that black rust paint as well. That way it's sealed up and should be right for another 50 years. Okay, so our rust repair panel has been welded back in, dressed, ground, and we've given the whole thing a hit with some zinc-rich primer on the outside, the back, and a full coat of the black rust paint as well on the outside. And the bracket that bolts around the inside that you're not really going to see once the headlight's in, that's been hit with the zinc primer and the black as well. So now we're pretty much done until I finish prepping the inside of the fender and welding that patch fully, and then we can put it in. So for now we're going to leave it at that. We've got some things to do this weekend, so until next time, thanks a lot, see you later, bye.